All right, so now for this one, for example number 3, we're going to plug these into the calculator. If you have one of these handy dandy TI 30s, Texas Instruments 30s, if you look real close, I don't see a button for cotangent. I see sine, cosine, and tangent, right? Woo. I don't see one for cotangent. Also, if theta, the angle is not equal to 30 degrees or 60 degrees or 45 degrees or 90 degrees or some variation or combo of those, we're going to need a calculator. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this is cotangent of theta is equal to 1 over tangent. So there's really only one way to put that in the calculator. I need to plug in the calculator of tangent of 42 degrees. And so make sure your calculator's in degree mode. So I'm just going to use Desmos. See how I have degrees highlighted there? Okay. So I'm going to say 1 divided by, and you just kind of do the same thing on your calculator, divided by tangent of 42. And that's it. Boop. And so that is approximately 1.11, right? So we would say that this is approximately 1.11. That's it. Now cosecant is the reciprocal. Cosecant of theta is equal to 1 over what? Sine. So that would be sine of theta. So in other words, if I say I want to know the cosecant of 16.76 degrees, then to plug it in the calculator, I have to do 1 divided by sine of 16.76 degrees. Let's see what that is, 16.76. So I'm going to say 1 divided by sine of 16.76 degrees. And I get approximately 3.47 if I approximate that, if I round to the hundredth. So this is approximately 3.47. No, and I want to highlight this. I know that you were taught this by your other math teachers, but in pre-calculus, it's a little more formal. What's the squiggly equal sign mean? Yeah, so remember that when Mr. Adams does this, I'm saying approximate. Now, the reason I'm approximating is because I rounded. So this section is about exact values and approximations. Whenever I take a decimal and I round it, I have to use this squiggly equal sign, always. And I won't say it that much, but if I put an equal sign, it's probably the exact value. If you see the squiggly lines, you know that is a decimal that I rounded, okay? And I want you guys to get used to that because those are great clues on the SAT. And I know that you guys, most of you guys have already had the SAT, but when you go to college, you know, if you go to Michigan State, and I live in Michigan, and I'm sure it's the same at other colleges, or I went to school, I went to Andrews University for my undergrad, and they made you take a math placement test. And if you see approximate value symbols, then you know that it's rounded, it's a decimal. That's sometimes a clue. I also know that Michigan State gives a math placement test. So it doesn't matter what classes you take in high school. It doesn't matter what you score on the SAT. They make you take a math test. So you're not done with testing. Even though you've taken the SAT, if you plan on going to college, there's more tests that you have to take. And so sometimes the formality of math makes it a little easier. Are there any questions on this one?